In the astrology of February 14th, aka Valentine's Day, we are going to be experiencing this on Wednesday this year. So today is Woden's Day. So this is a day about how we think, how we express ourselves, how we communicate, and how we perceive things. And so this is very relevant because of one of the aspects. We have, of course, the sun in a semi-sextile with Neptune. The semi-sextile is 30 degrees apart, and so there's usually some level of identification that's happening, like, hey, something is different on the horizon than it is here around me and in front of me. And in this case, this is a waning semi-sextile. So you might be experiencing the feeling of looking back at things a little bit differently than you were before. So on this Valentine's Day, sometimes people will see it, some people don't celebrate it or don't have any interest in it. Other people, they take it very seriously, and there's some who kind of see it as like a symbolic moment in a relationship each and every year where the person will sort of demonstrate how much effort they're showing, how much energy they're putting into the relationship. And I think especially for Aquarius and Pisces, this is always going to be a really big deal as far as kind of how it manifests, even though Aquarians tend to be the people who care the least about Valentine's Day itself. Pisces, some of the people who care the most about it, so that's kind of interesting as well. But for this particular semi-sextile, I think that there's a lot of people who are going to be saying, I'm looking back and I have not nearly appreciated my romantic partner enough, or I have been giving appreciation and don't feel that this appreciation has actually been earned. And I think for a lot of people, there's always an energy of the rose-tinted glasses, and are they coming on or are they, coming off, essentially, anytime the sun and Neptune really have a serious and important conversation with each other. And I think for this year, there's a lot of people that are going to be looking back and realizing that they haven't necessarily been identifying properly what things were really illusions and what things were actually reality. And so I feel like that this is going to be a very helpful semi-sextile if we allow ourselves to engage with what our inner voice of truth and knowing is trying to say. It's going to tell us essentially, we are in a great relationship, and it's really time that we stop looking with this constant skepticism or speculation at the other person. Or B, maybe we have had our rose-tinted glasses on and things are not the way that they should be, because in our inner voice of truth, regardless of what's factually correct or incorrect, we know when we're not being treated as we ought to be treated, and when we're treating or not treating another person the way that they ought to be treated. And I feel like this semi-sextile is going to be very helpful for that this year in particular. It feels like there's several other combinations to this, like, for example, Saturn in Pisces right now is going to really be empowering, especially the part of us that are looking back at unsuccessful relationships. But I feel like even on a positive note, that there's a lot of us who are going to be able to experience, especially post Mars-Pluto conjunction that we had yesterday, a lot of us that are going to be able to see when other people have put in effort to evolve as a individual and evolve as a partner to us in our shared sense of self in that relationship. And if you're single, then all this really means is that maybe you're looking and sort of identifying what it is that you want out of a partner differently. You're looking at it differently than you were as of yesterday. And that's kind of a big deal. A change in perception of what it is we desire from a relationship is one of the most important types of psychological change we can ever go through, beyond, our own happiness and the way we pursue things or don't pursue things. And so it just feels like this is a very powerful energy for us today to think I almost want to say think deeply about it, but it's not really that complicated of a process. It's more so to think and really engage with what it is that we are thinking, what it is we are feeling, and the process of knowing, our inner knowing of what's true and not true today. And while I think it applies to many other areas of life as well, specifically in love, it's important to look at what is an illusion and what is reality today. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.